Iraqi forces say Islamic State militants have blown up the 12th century Great Mosque of Al-Nuri in Mosul. The ancient landmark, with its famous leaning minaret, is considered the birthplace of the Islamic State group's self-declared caliphate. The Iraqi Prime Minister says its destruction amounts to a declaration of defeat. But IS militants blame the destruction on American aircraft, a claim swiftly denied by the US-led coalition.
The Great Mosque of Al-Nuri has a history far longer and more celebrated than the Islamic State group. But it was here the group's leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, in 2014 declared a caliphate over Iraq and Syria. The famous mosque with its leaning minaret stood for nearly 900 years, a key landmark on the Mosul skyline. Now the mosque has been reduced to rubble in the battle for Iraq's second biggest city, the minaret blown to smithereens.
We've heard disturbing reports about IS potentially detonating the mosque and also potentially using human shields.
Iraq's military says it was destroyed as elite Iraqi soldiers got to within 50 metres of the mosque. Iraq's Prime Minister says IS militants blew it up as an acknowledgement of defeat. But the Islamic State group says US aircraft destroyed the complex. Iraqi forces entered Mosul's old city earlier this week, where the last IS fighters remain holed up with tens of thousands of civilians. Some have been trapped for months with little or no food or water.
The situation was very bad the day before we fled our house. We were later rescued by government forces.
The fight to retake Mosul was launched more than 8 months ago and has displaced more than 800,000 people. The city's recapture by Iraqi forces would effectively mark an end to the Iraqi half of the Islamic State group's so-called caliphate. But it still has considerable control over Raqqa and other parts of Syria. Anne Barker, ABC News.